Dear students, I welcome you all in the online home classes by DSEJ, an attempt to connect learner with instructor, a digital initiative by the Directorate of School Education, Jammu. Dear students, look at this picture. This is Christy Brown, who had cerebral palsy. Do you know what is cerebral palsy? It is a range of neuromuscular disorders caused by injury to an infant's brain sustained during late pregnancy, birth, or any time during the first 2 years of life. People with cerebral palsy have a wide range of difficulties, from a clumsy walk to an inability to speak or swallow caused by faulty messages sent from the brain to the muscles. Have you ever come across anyone suffering from cerebral palsy? What are the problems faced by a person who has cerebral palsy? What is the attitude of parents, siblings, relatives, friends, and neighbors with such type of person? You will get answer of all these questions in the lesson which I am going to teach you today. The name of this lesson is The Letter A, written by Christy Brown. The story describes the crucial moment when Christy Brown first communicated signs of awareness and intelligence. Let us read the story. Before I start the lesson and the story of Christy Brown, here is an introduction of the writer. Christy Brown, born in June 5, 1932, was an Irish novelist, poet and painter who has cerebral palsy and was able to write or type only with the toes of his left foot. His most recognized work is his autobiography, My Left Foot, in 1954, which was later expanded into novel Down All the Days in 1970 and went into become international bestseller. It was later made into 1989 Academy Award winning film starred by Daniel Day-Lewis as Christy Brown. In this short career of Christy Brown, he published 2 novels, Down All the Days and Wild Grow the Lilies, 3 volumes of poetry, Comes Softly to My Wake, Of Nails and Skylark, and background music. Christy Brown died on 7th September 1981 in England. Dear students, now I am going to describe the story of Christy Brown, lesson number 8 of your textbook, The Letter A. The Letter A is an autobiography of Christy Brown in which he described how he overcame his massive handicap with his willpower, firm determination, and with the continuous efforts and love of his mother. Christy Brown was born as the 10th child in a family of 22. When he was 4 months old, his head would constantly fall backwards whenever his mother tried to feed him. As he grew older, his hands were clenched tightly and twisted unnecessarily. He could not even hold the nipple of the bottle because he could not freely open or close his mouth. At 6 months, he could only sit by resting his back on the mountain of pillows. All these signs alerted his mother, so she consulted doctors. The doctors told her mother that he was both mentally and physically defective, but she had a firm belief that her son may be physically weak but not mentally retarded. She was a woman of firm determination who loved Christy dearly as her other normal children. Filled by true motherly love, she tried to take care of him by her own self. Even at the age of 5, he could neither sit nor speak. His every part of the body was useless. His mother would show him pictures of animals and flowers and ask him to repeat them after her. She hoped that Christy would at least learn and communicate with other people, even when her relatives told her not to take the boy seriously. She was determined to prove that her son was not mentally retarded. One day, a wonderful event changed his life completely. He was attracted by the yellow piece of chalk that his brother and sister were writing within the black slates. He unconsciously grabbed the chalk out of her sister's hand with his left foot. He held it between his toes and wrote carelessly on the slate. Every family member was curious. When his mother came and saw this, she knelt before him and drew single letter A on the floor in front of him and asked him to copy it. He tried it with the chalk. It produced a crooked line. He tried again and drew two sides of the letter A. The chalk broke out. He wanted to give up and throw the chalk, but due to his mother's encouragement, he gathered his strength to write the letter A. About the theme of the story. The theme of the story is that it is possible to achieve the impossible if we are determined to do so. Christy Brown was declared mentally and physically defective. All the relatives and friends advised his parents to admit him to some institution meant for mentally retarded. But they did not pay any heed to these people. His mother had full faith in herself and her son. Almost all the doctors who examined him labeled him an interesting but also a hopeless case. But Christy's mother showed impertinence to the opinion of doctors. She refused to accept this truth. She would not agree that her son was an imbecile. His mother hoped to get positive response from his son. For this purpose, she showed him pictures of animals and flowers. She wanted him to repeat the names of these animals and flowers, but it was all in vain. She did not lose heart and was still determined to prove that though his body was shattered, but his mind was not crippled. The time came when Christy learns to write by holding a piece of chalk tightly between the toes of his foot. That was a miracle. He was able to scrawl the letter A and he learned to express himself. That was his road to new world, the key to mental freedom. He could not speak with lips, but now he would speak through something more lasting than spoken words, that is, written words. Character sketch of Christie's mother. Christie Brown's mother emerges as the most loving, affectionate, and caring person in the story. She gave birth to him in a hospital and was the first to see that there was something wrong with him. When he was just 4 months old, she came to know that his head fell backward whenever she tried to feed him. As she became aware of other signs of his being handicapped, she naturally felt unhappy. Even when he was 1 year old, he could not sit up without having a mountain of pillows around him. As a mother, she was concerned and worried, but still she did not lose her presence of mind. She was convinced that there was definitely something wrong with her son, Christie Brown. Mother had her faith in Christie. She was convinced that he was not unhealthy in mind, even though he was crippled in body. She would not agree with the doctors that he was an imbecile and idiot, though she had no evidence to prove herself right. It was all a mother's love for her child. As a mother, she would not agree to accept him as queer child. She was determined to treat him in the same way as she treated her healthy children. Thus, she was a great source of strength and inspiration to Christie Brown. She was determined to prove that he was not an idiot, and she was to do that out of love. Christie's mother was a brave person with courage of conviction worthy of praise. He was all but not inert or motionless, and this gave his mother a hope. She was always by his side. She would never neglect him, contrary to the relatives' suggestions that she must treat him differently from her 5 healthy children. She often talked and laughed and played with him. She did not lose heart even when he showed no real signs of intelligence, even at the age of 5 years. Mother's faith in Christie was rewarded at last. Her secret that he might be an imbecile beyond cure at last changed into open triumph. It happened when, with a piece of yellow chalk between his toes, he succeeded in drawing the letter A on the floor. So happy was the child's mother that tears of joy rolled down her cheeks. Her faith and courage of conviction proved her right. Character sketch of Christie Brown. Christie Brown's birth was the difficult one. It was his mother who first saw that there was something wrong with him. When he was about 4 months, she noticed that his head habitually fell backward whenever she tried to feed him. That was the first warning sign. He had other defects of which she became aware when he got older. His hands were invariably clenched and were inclined to twist behind his back. His jaws would either locked together tightly or they would suddenly become limp and fall loose, dragging his whole mouth to one side. His mother found it impossible to open his jaws. When he was 6 months old, he could not sit up without having a mountain of pillows around him. At 12 months, there was no change. When his worried parents consulted doctors, they were told that Christie's was a hopeless case. His mother was disturbed but she decided to treat him as he treated her healthy children. The doctor assured her that nothing could be done for the handicapped Christie. But still, she was not ready to accept that he was beyond cure and even beyond hope. She somehow believed that Christie was not an imbecile. Whatever the doctors and her relatives would say, she was not ready to believe that her child was crippled in mind. She was not prepared to accept or label him as queer child. Even when he was 5 years, he was a crippled child as helpless as a newly born baby. Christie was 5 and still he showed no signs of intelligence. He used to lie on his back all the time in the kitchen or on bright warm days out in the garden with a little bundle of crooked muscles and twisted nerves. Virtually in bondage, he was unable to run about and play with other children. Ultimately, Christie's mother had her faith in him rewarded. One day he held a piece of chalk between his toes and copied the letter A drawn by her mother in front of him. With real efforts, he drew the letter A on the floor to the delight of every member of the family. This proved to be his road to a new world, his key to mental freedom. A simile is a comparison between two objects using a specific word of comparison such as like, as, or than, when the two objects have something in common. The writer has used similes in the story. Here are some of the examples of similes picked up from the story. Christie was still as helpless as a newly born baby. They were almost exactly like steps of stairs on the boughs of trees like molten silver. Sky stretched like a dark canopy. My feet as helpless to me as my hands. These are some of the similes used by the writer in the story. In this picture, you can see Christie Brown typing with his left foot. With these beautiful lines, I conclude my topic. The difference between the impossible and the possible lies in a person's determination and willpower. It was determination and willpower of Christie's mother which finally helped Christie achieve the impossible. Dear students, hope you have understood this story in a better way. All the best to all the